Hello, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back, and Happy New Year! I've got a very interesting topic for you guys today. It is on why you need to adopt mob boss mentality going into 2026. But before I get into the content of this video, let's mix ourselves a little drink, shall we? Okay, that was dramatic. I stole this bottle from my workplace. They steal my money though. Like, they are not... It's a whole thing with the union and all that, but... Okay, we're drinking Hugo Spritzes tonight. Alright, there we go. I struggled getting the bottle open for a moment there, but a little bit of Saint Germain elderflower liqueur. Very sweet, very delicious. Yeah, if you guys don't know, behind the scenes, when I'm not a self-employed artist and YouTuber and clown, I'm a barista bartender, and it's pretty fun. Like, I love interacting with people, but I will say it's times like New Year's Eve where I want to get home and celebrate my darn New Year's, and there's people sitting at the bar when I've already told them to leave. Oh my god. But anyway, cheers to a Happy New Year, and I'm excited for you guys to see how progressively unraveled this video gets, because I'm a little bit of a lightweight. I don't drink much. This is pretty yummy. Okay, so on mob boss mentality, we've all seen these movies and TV shows about the mob, and what makes it so intriguing, at least partly, is the power that the mob boss commands, right? They have all these people under their thumb, but they also have a really loyal inner circle. So just as soon as they can snap and say, you're out of the picture, to some little goon on the street, even with their inner circle, if someone betrays them, it's like, okay, you're out, okay? Or if they choose to forgive, it's like this blessing coming down from God. And it's like, now that I've forgiven you for the way you've wronged me, you're in my debt forever. And also, like, part of that is because the mob boss will kill you. So I think it's really important to adopt this mentality, because you need to have people around you who are loyal. And if they're not loyal, they are a liability. And I'm really thinking of these people in your life, and I think unfortunately the majority of people are like this, at least from what I've witnessed, is that they will throw their day ones under the bus simply for a little bit of validation from the person in front of them. Even if this person is pretty much a stranger or really has no significant impact in their life, they will throw their day ones under the bus because they see this is a sort of social currency. And, like, they will use information that you've told them as social currency, which is in the form of gossip. And I've talked to people about this, and they will defend their right to gossip, defend their right to have no loyalty towards anyone. And it's just, if you are on a certain path, you need to understand that there is zero room for people like this in your life. Because, like I said, they are a liability. Like, I'm thinking of if you became famous, which we will, believe me. Okay, maybe this person who's in your circle, who's just like a little bit of a liability, they're not necessarily going to go to TMZ to report on you to get that money. Like, maybe they don't need the money, so you think you're safe, because it's like they would never do that. But the thing is, these mandated reporter types are going to tell somebody. Like, they're not necessarily going to go straight to the news, but they're going to go to so-and-so, their little friends. They're like, oh, I heard this crazy thing, you know, a little bit of gossip. And then all of a sudden, you know, it spreads its way around. And then boom, you have something being reported on you. Because these people don't have the discretion to understand what is public domain knowledge and what is meant to stay between two people in a conversation. And, you know, if we're being real, right, pretty much everything is meant to stay between you and the person you're telling it to. Like, this is a conversation you're having in confidence, right? This is obviously not a public conversation. If you wanted it to be public, you would go out there and record a video of you saying these things. So these people who don't have the discretion to understand, like, this is between me and this person, I'm gonna keep it between us. I don't necessarily need to share this with everyone in the world. If someone doesn't understand that, they just have no place in your life. And a big part of this comes from people's need for validation. And I think a big reason for why this behavior occurs could be people who have parents who kind of pit them against each other. Like, your one parent is trash talking the other parent to you, and then the other parent does the same, and you're kind of in between them, right? And it's like they say, a two-faced person never lies, right? Because now you're playing both sides, and you feel forced to play both sides for the validation. And like, especially if this is your parents, like, these are your two caregivers that you don't want to alienate or betray. So you have to take both sides. You have to say, yeah, it's terrible that mom did that. It's terrible that dad did that. And because you want to be loved by both your parents. But now you've taken this behavior into the adult world. And all of a sudden, you're doing the same thing. Except in these cases, there is someone you should be loyal to, right? Like, you need to have people who are ride or dies in your life. And if people are not going to be your ride or die, if they're going to be nice to your face and shit talk you behind your back, and then be nice to someone else's face and shit talk them behind their back, these people just they can't play with you. They can't be on your team. They're not going where you're going. And this happened to me where I was at a party where the host had been shit talking this one guy. And I was just like, I literally said, like, stop telling me all this. Like, I don't want to know these things about his personal life, especially when I'm going to meet this poor fellow. And like, really unfair criticisms as well. Like, not really personality defects. And anyway, in the first place, like, if you hate this guy so much, why are you inviting him to your party? But anyway, I get to the party and I meet this man and I'm just like, God, this poor pathetic fool. Seriously. He came to this girl's party and she's just shit talking him nonstop. And then I went, wait a second. Wait a second. There's people in this room who are looking at me like, that poor girl. She doesn't know that her so-called friend is shit-talking her all the time. But you know, the thing is, you do know. You can look in someone's eyes and you'll know if they've been reporting on you or if they've been gossiping about you, because the guilt stays with them. Because they know that they've betrayed you. And that's the worst part about these types of people. It's like, they know what they're doing is wrong and they do it anyway. And like, unfortunately, this is a big part of like just their need for constant validation and their inability to really stand from any center point, where like someone who really has a strong sense of self is going to say, these are the people I want in my corner. These are the people I don't care so much about. The people I want in my corner, I'm going to be loyal to them. I'm going to tell the truth to them. And I'm going to keep the information that they share between us. And these people I don't care so much about, well, it's kind of whatever. But I'm not going to tell these people I don't care about all this personal details and information and strategic plans of the people who are supposedly on my team. All right? And it's like, there's some people who can be on your team and some people who can't. It's like, can you sit at the grown-ups table or can you not? Where it's like, little kids have no place at the grown-ups table because, one, they don't understand what you're talking about. And two, they're going to misinterpret things and maybe say it to someone else and it's, you know, it's going to be twisted out of hand like some broken telephone game. Or they're going to snitch on someone who really doesn't need to be hearing this information. But all the grown-ups at the grown-up table understand, okay, we have the discretion to be able to talk to each other in a way where there's some level of mutual respect, some level of understanding. And like, just, unfortunately, the people you deal with in your life, the vast majority of them are kindergarten levels when it comes to this emotional intelligence and, like, just discretion in the world. Unfortunately, the majority of people cannot be on your team. And this is just how it goes. And that's going to be okay, but I think it will really hurt in the beginning. I want to keep drinking this drink, but I'm getting too into talking. It will hurt because it's like, why can't I just get along with these people? I go to these parties and I have to get so drunk, I have to get so high to even just be able to lower myself down to a level where I can have conversation with these people. Because otherwise I'm running circles around them and I'm looking at them like, oh my God, like, do you not understand that what you're saying is just coming from the wrong place? Like a place of ego, a place of just confusion, a place of participating in this stupid rat race. And it's just so frustrating that I can't get along with these people. And it's like, no, this is actually a blessing because I don't want to be like them. I don't want to go where they're going. I want something different. I chose this life that is a challenge. And so now I have to step up to the challenge and accept it. And I can't just sit here whining about, oh, I can't get along with other people. It's like, no, I chose to be that way because I want something different. And I'm getting the feeling that maybe you're a little bit exhausted by this. I mean, it is very difficult. It's very challenging. What comes to me is the Rilo Kiley song Glendora. She goes, "Another year, I need a Sunday." Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Another year passed by, and it's all the same struggles. It's no New Year's kiss because the only men I get involved with just absolutely hate my guts for some reason. And, like, no interesting conversation because these people are such fake hoes. I don't even want to talk to them because I know that they can't keep it between us. And just feeling so absolutely alone in the world. But this is a trick, okay? You're not alone. You're not alone. It is through your extreme dedication to self and honesty to self, by avoiding these situations that are just causing you suffering, that will bring you the allies that are waiting in the wings for you. And, like, specifically, yeah, if you betray yourself, okay, right? If you think, I just want a New Year's kiss so bad, I'm gonna go kiss some random guy who I don't even like, who doesn't even like me. You betrayed yourself. And now you're missing out on an opportunity. I mean, you would have been better off staying at home and reading a book. Or, like, these people who are so two-faced and, like, just have absolutely no loyalty to you and who aren't going to be on your team in the future. It's like, again, you're wasting time just talking to them, and especially when you have to lower yourself down to the conversation topics they're able to handle, and you have to numb yourself out with drugs because your sober mind is just screaming at you, I need to get out of this situation. I can't be around these goddamn hamsters, these robots. Like, I can't be here. And if you stay in that situation, you're betraying yourself, and you're only causing a detriment to the progress that you're making on the path. And I think it's very important to remember one of the teachings of the Buddha is desire is the root of all suffering, right? Suffering stems from desire. So I think, when you're stuck in ego, it really does feel like, oh my god, if I just had the perfect relationship, if I just did this, if I just need to work a little harder in my career, and then I'll get what I want. I'll get what I want, and when I get what I want, I'll be happy. And it's like, no, like, you're missing the point so obviously. So, like, it's the wanting that causes the suffering. You don't need to want anything. Honestly, here's what you should do. Here's my honest advice, okay? Swear off this clown world. Get out of it. Remove yourself from this 21st century hellhole with all these little robotic sheeple in it. And focus on your art. Focus on developing yourself. Focus on your spirituality, right? You just literally sit and stare at a blank wall is a better use of your time than going out and talking to these sheeple. I'm just being honest. I mean, like, there's some value you can get out of talking to people. I've mentioned this in my other videos because it teaches you about yourself and it teaches you about the world and culture and, of course, okay. But you're going to do that a little bit anyway. I mean, you have to go out and get groceries, and that's the value you get in talking to people. You talk to the cashier at the counter, but you don't need to go to some social occasion and talk to these 21st century people unless they're of the same caliber as you. But listen, you haven't met people who are at the same caliber as you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching YouTube videos. You would go be collaborating on a project with them. Or like you can't find these people who are at the same caliber as you until you are living in your alignment with your true self. And this means not betraying yourself by clinging and grasping to notions and people that are not serving you. Right? Like, every single time that you think, like, I just wish this person would love me. I wish they would love me the way that I love them. You're cutting yourself off from actually finding true love. Every time you think, I wish my friends could just step up and just stop being such fake hoes, you're holding yourself back from the allies that are actually there for you, who don't need to be bartered and begged to act right. Like, and again, this is like relating to this illusion of the separation between self and others also, is that the people in this world who are the allies waiting in the wings for you, and this person who is your true love, they are, in a sense, split from the same soul as you. In the sense that, like, you all belong to the same soul, even if you inhabit different bodies, if that makes sense. And, like, even if you don't fully believe in this, like, oh, I don't believe in souls, whatever, like, okay, just think of it as a metaphor, okay? You're all from the same essence, this one thing that has been divided into many, okay? And when you are living in alignment with this one thing that's inside of you, and you cause your manifestation in the world to be like aligned with that and in truth with this, instead of acting from a place of ego or just denying yourself, right? Then you can see the other people in the world who are made of the same essence as you, because you express it in such a way that you recognize it in other people and other people recognize it in you, right? Like, if you're someone who feels really alone, part of it could be there's no one else in the world like me. But listen, the fact that you are you is proof that there's someone in the world like you. And every minute that you lie and do something that is not you, you're getting further away from that truth. And you're pushing away these people who are you, because when you've been lying to yourself for so many years, denying yourself for so many years, when someone who is aligned with that self sees you, they will disregard you like one of the many sheeple because you're acting like them to try and fit in. And at the same time, you also lose touch with that core essence of yourself, of your soul. The more years that pass by, the further you get alienated from your soul. And that's why sometimes you see people in your life that are just like, they're too far gone. Like, they're gonna stay stuck forever. And I think that's something you might see in like family members, like parents or grandparents, where it's just like, it's just a lost cause. And it's sad because you can see exactly what their problem is, where they went wrong in repeating these past generational cycles of trauma or identifying with their ego, and how that held them back. But then they clinged to it for 20 to 40 or more years. And there's just no hope. There's no hope for them. I'm sorry. Like, I do try to believe that there is hope for everyone. And I think, there could be some experience that could shake something into these people. But at the same time, it's just like, they're so far from it. And I think I'm talking to you as someone who's very close to it. Like, it feels like you could almost grasp it in your hands, but you're not quite there. And you haven't lost touch with it just yet. So this is like my reassuring message to you is like, be true to yourself. In 2026, this new year, this is the year of you, of being honest to yourself. And I think it's worth bringing in some of the astrological concerns as well. Okay, we're going into 2026, the year of the fire horse. And the horse charges ahead. And the fire brings purification through immolation. At the same time, the fire must be balanced with the energy of water, which is this emotional flow and depth, whereas the fire is very visible. It burns things on the surface. The water goes much deeper, and you need these two energies balancing each other in order to find some sort of harmony rather than going in too far in either direction, right? So for 2026, you're charging ahead. There's no more of this waffling around of denying yourself, of trying to fit in with this 21st century culture that you never have fit in with, of trying to convince these people to like you who have never liked you, of trying to convince these people to be on your team who have absolutely no sense of loyalty whatsoever. It's like, leave them behind, right? You are the mob boss, okay? There's no one above you. There's no one who controls you, okay? There's no one you need. Like, does the mob boss ever actually, like, suck up to anyone and say, oh my god, this person is so much better than me? Like, no, maybe sometimes they will pull that move as some sort of, a little bit of a mind game trick to get something out of someone. Like, appeal to their ego. Okay, this person wants to dominate others. I'm going to make them think they're dominating me in order to get what I want out of the situation. Okay, that's a mob boss move. But in your heart of hearts, you know that you hold all the power. And this is the mob boss mentality at its core. It's not looking to anyone else to save you. It's knowing that you have all the strategical skills, all the knowledge, everything you need in order to be the one coming out on top. And it's knowing that you have people on your team. You have these people who are extraordinarily loyal to you. But until you actually step into that mob boss energy, you're no one to them. You're just another goon fighting on the streets until you step up onto your throne and accept your true calling as the boss. And a big part of this is, like I mentioned, is like, you can't keep acting like a doormat. You can't keep keeping these people around who have no loyalty to you whatsoever, who are just absolutely like not acting from a place of moral integrity or consistency in any way. Like, these people have no moral compass. We're like, okay, a mob boss might be doing kind of evil things. They still have a moral compass. They still know where they land on, like, killing people or breaking someone's kneecaps to get them to pay back the money they owe you. Like, they still have a standpoint, at least. It's these people who are all over the place that you can't trust. Like, In any situation, they're going to act differently. They might even admit to you straight up, I have no moral compass. And you're still keeping them around? Like, why? Why would you do that to yourself? That is just not a strategically good decision for a mob boss to have, right? You want to know how people act. You want to know that someone is going to be consistent and not just at the whim of other people in every moment, looking for validation external to them in every moment. Like, these are the people you cannot ride with. And it's really hard because it's like, maybe some of these people were kind of like day ones to you in a way where like, okay, you've been a ride or die since you met them. You would never talk shit about them. And they've been with you on your journey for a long time. But, you know, at the end of the day, if they were never there for you like that, they're gone, okay? And there's no mercy in this. I mean, you can choose to forgive someone if you truly believe they've stepped up and you can truly see that they have no loyalties to other people. That are your enemies. But I think if you get even the littlest sense of like, okay, this person is a rat, they're coming from the other side, and they're more loyal, they're as loyal to me as they are to someone else. It doesn't even necessarily have to be they're more loyal to the other team. It's just like, even if they're as loyal, out, okay? You need people who are on your team for real, okay? And you know, I think here's one thing that if you weren't in your mob boss mentality before, think about this and you'll get to it right there, okay? Think about the best person you know. The one person who you've talked to and felt like, oh my god, I finally feel seen. I finally feel like this person is equally yoked, like they're actually at my level. I met my match. And think about, like, who are they, okay? Are they still not a pathetic person who treats you horribly, who is just so emotionally immature and, like, is not at your level whatsoever? You're still running circles around them. And this is the person who's the best person you've met in the world. Like, okay, it's over. It's over. Like, there's nothing for you in this clown world. You are already at the top, and you just need to pull in the energies of the other people who are in your in alignment with you, who are actually at your caliber, and just keep working alone, right? Because when you start to get validation from other people, you turn into one of these sheeple. When you're working alone in honesty with yourself, this is what pulls in the other real human beings who have an ounce of humanity left in them. They haven't completely lost their soul altogether. But Happy New Year, because I think 2026 is going to be our year, dear viewer. I think that if you've struggled in 2025, you're going to see that 2026 has many pleasures and delights to hold for you. And it's because of this radical, absolute commitment to yourself that you've made of, I will never lie to myself, and I will never lie to other people about who I am. I'm not going to make myself small. I am embodying this boss energy. And I think that this is going to be so freeing and refreshing to you, and it's going to bring in all these things that you've been blocking. Where, like, if you had blocks relating to money, if you had blocks relating to being on the public stage, if you had blocks to forming beneficial relationships to others where, like, people actually pour into your cup instead of you just giving to them with seeing nothing in return whatsoever, I think 2026 is the year that ends all of that. Like I said, purification through fire. Burn those damn bridges, because they were sucking your energy and they were causing you to lie to yourself. Because in order to maintain these relationships, you had to make yourself small. So burn these bridges, step into your new self, and form new relationships from this basis of self-empowerment. All right, I think I've said enough. And I've drank enough of this delicious beverage. So cheers, my dear viewers. I hope that 2026 holds many pleasures for us. In fact, I know that it will. And I think we're going to step away from desire a little bit and away from worldly pleasures. Well, thank you so much for watching. As always, it's lovely spending time with you guys. As I said, I'm a bit of a lightweight. This kava is hitting quite deliciously. Well, I hope to see you in the next video, and thank you for sticking around with me on this journey. It's been about a year since I started YouTube, and there are some people who have been day ones on that journey, and thank you so much for putting up with me, guys. Alright, well, Happy New Year, and thank you for watching.